Hey, Vinny Lips here from Off the Block, and what a wild night it was in college men's volleyball with a slew of upsets. And let's start with the biggest one, that being in Fort Wayne, Indiana, as unranked Fort Wayne knocked off number 12 George Mason. Now, anytime we're dealing with an upset, there's always a good, there's always a bad. So let's start with the good. Give a lot of credit to the job that George Mason did. An absolutely dominant defensive performance. Freshman Richie Dedrich, 8 blocks on the night. Fort Wayne outblocked George Mason 14.5 to 0. George Mason didn't have a 0 block, or had 0 blocks, hit less than 100 in the match. Give a lot of credit to the job Rock Prue is doing, growing that program. They had a real struggle at the beginning of their season, but 2 consecutive wins now. The Mastodons have things going in the right direction. On the other side of the net, it was a rough night for George Mason. Absolutely a disastrous loss, disastrous road trip. You start off this Midwest road trip, you lose to a really good team in Ball State, no shame in that. But with all due respect to Fort Wayne, it's a good program, but George Mason has the talent to beat Fort Wayne, and they did not show it tonight. Now look, this is a good team. They have a lot of senior leadership, an absolutely fantastic coach. They're disappointed by this loss, to tell you that. And I know they're going to bounce back. They have a bye week coming up before they hit EIVA play. But they have to sort out whatever went wrong in this Midwest road trip, because this did not look like the team that made the NCAA tournament last season. But good news is, once again, young team, or a senior experienced team, they'll be able to bounce back as they enter EIVA play. Now, the other upset on the night, and maybe not as big of an upset as Fort Wayne beating George Mason, but still an upset anytime a team can go into Smith Fieldhouse and get a victory. Talk about just an absolutely impressive performance tonight by UC Irvine, being able to knock off BYU in 5 games. And this was a fun volleyball match. Yes, there were a lot of service errors, 50-plus service errors on the night, but just some high-level caliber volleyball we saw. Lots of good rallies, and credit the back row defense of UC Irvine. Dylan Hoffman may be the difference maker for the Anteaters this season. The way that he was able to dig up balls and extend rallies, absolutely fantastic. And then UC Irvine is developing 2 deadly pin hitters with Tamir Hershko and then Tommy Hodge, another Pacific player, stepping up. Very impressive to see what UC Irvine was able to do going into BYU, getting a quality win. And, these 2 teams are now going to meet again in a non-conference match. You may say this match means nothing because it's a non-conference play. But just remember, end of the season, these non-conference matches matter when it comes to the selection committee. It matters in a slew of criteria categories, and both these teams, they're going to be in that hunt for the NCAA tournament bid at the end of the season. So, those were 2 of the upsets. We had some other teams as well, not pull off upsets, but did what they were expected to do and did very impressively, especially UCLA, sweeping UC Santa Barbara. Impressive performance, hit more than 400. The middle attackers were outstanding once again. Their freshman Gemma, 17 kills on the night, or 15 kills on the night, hit more than 600. This is feeling like a daily occurrence for him. UCLA is absolutely loaded. They'd be the #1 team in the nation if it wasn't for that pesky Ohio State Buckeyes, who once again were able to get a good victory, good non-conference victory against Barden. The Buckeyes are going to be tested tomorrow night or on Saturday as they take on Long Beach State, which was able to win in 4 games against a really surprising, well-improved, well-played team in St. Francis. Fun match there, but now we get a nice big showdown between #1 Ohio State and #4 Long Beach State tomorrow night. That just feels like it's going to be a preview of what we could see in the NCAA tournament. So, if Friday was any indication of what we can expect to see on Saturday, it's going to be a little bit of craziness. It always is this time of year. And for all your college men's volleyball news, you're going to want to stay here at offtheblogblog.com.